This doctor is telling us to eat vegetables by the look of it, saying that they are anti-inflammatory and are better for your health. So I'll be the judge of that. No hate to anyone in this video, but obviously we don't want to be spreading misinformation here, which I'm guessing this is going to be. So we'll see what he says.
If I could suggest one thing for you to do to boost your energy, slow your aging, and massively cut your risk of disease, it's reducing inflammation. And the good thing is, you can do it naturally.
And he's lost it already, 1 out of 10 video.
With food. I'm going to show you my top...
He is correct, you can do it with food, or the lack of bad food.
Top 10 evidence-based foods, as well as...
Considering those in the top corner there, I don't think this is going to be a fantastic video.
A hack I personally use to eat them every single day. Berries. A handful of berries a day can fight inflammation more than most supplements.
Wow. Or you can just reduce foods that are inflammatory, basically everything but meat. Meat and animal products. Even milk is slightly inflammatory to some people. So the only things that will reduce inflammation is getting rid of everything apart from the things that don't inflame you, which is meat.
People eat them regularly, about a couple to most days. Studies show better cholesterol levels, healthier blood vessels, and a lower risk of overall heart disease. And the highest sources of these anthocyanins are actually super accessible. Things like blackcurrants, blackberries, and blueberries, but you can also get them in things like raspberries. And the funky ones, like Haskap berries, for example, if you can get your hands on them, are super impressive as well. Each of these different berries have their own unique blend. So by mixing them all up, you get a real wide spectrum of benefits. I keep frozen berries in the freezer, so I can just throw them into things like overnight oats or yogurt bowls. If you prefer
pure sugar,
getting your berries in a powder form, make sure you're getting freeze-dried berries.
I actually didn't even know powder berries even existed.
That is the best preservation method to ensure that you're getting a wide spectrum of their nutrients. Berries are such an easy way to get your daily dose of anti-inflammatory benefits. Green.
As I said, you literally don't need anything other than meat. Meat will give you every single nutrient that you possibly need, and you don't need anything else from any other source of food. Meat will give you every single nutrient. You don't need extra things like polyphenols and whatever. You just need your essential vitamins. So like A, D, E, K2, B12, taurine, carnosine, creatine, everything like that you'll get from meat. And then you can, if you're eating carbs, you will need more vitamin C, even though meat does have a little bit in it. And you can get that from just like an orange or something, or you can get it from other. I mean, you can just eat a lot more meat and you'll get enough vitamin C. But you don't need any other food, especially these leafy greens that are loaded with oxalates and things like phytic acid and stuff. That's more in like nuts and stuff, but they've all got, every single plant is trying to kill you. It's got defense chemicals that are trying to kill you because they cannot attack you, they cannot scratch you, they can't defend themselves apart from chemical warfare. It's like if you go out into the woods or the wild or something, almost every single plant there will kill you, and all of these will, just slowly.
Dark leafy greens like spinach, kale, chard, rocket.
Spinach and kale have the most amount of oxalates, especially spinach. That put Liam Hemsworth in hospital, which is quite, well, lots of people know about that, but it has an effect on not just like, it's not just the oxalates putting you in the hospital for the same reason that Liam Hemsworth got in there for, but it actually just affects like your whole body, the way your mitochondria works, basically everything, all of your cellular function gets affected by these oxalates because they are poisonous to you.
I like nature's multivitamin. They give you fiber, folate, vitamin.
You don't need fiber. Vitamin K, it's not the right one. You need K2, this is K1. Vitamin C, yes it is vitamin C, but the anti-nutrients are blocking the absorption of the vitamin C anyway, and yeah, you just might as well get them for fruit. They don't taste good for a reason. I'm actually not sure what folate is, but it's not an essential nutrient, so you don't need it. I'll have a look at that after though. In fact, let's look what folate is. What is folate? B vitamin, okay, you don't need that. You get all your B vitamins from meat.
Vitamin K, vitamin C. They also have a special power called carotenoids, like lutein. And once in your body, lutein sort of acts like a shield against oxidative stress, one of the main sparks of inflammation. People who eat even
though one of the main sparks of inflammation is things like oxalates, which are very prominent in those foods.
Carotenoid-rich diet show lower levels of inflammatory signals, and just one portion a day, around 80 grams or so, was linked to a slower brain decline, equivalent to being 11 years younger. So if you're looking for longevity benefits, get you greens.
Well, as soon as we started eating things like grains and vegetables, our brains shrunk by 11. Is it shrunk or shrank? Shrank by 11%.
The darker the green, the richer it tends to be in these compounds. I usually go for
chemical compounds that are not good for you.
Kale, cavallinero, spinach, or chard. And a special trick is to also rotate between cooked as well as raw greens to preserve a full...
God, I remember eating that Oh, that brought back
The darker
terrible
the green,
memories.
the richer it tends to be in these compounds. I usually go for kale, capolinero, spinach, or chard. And a special trick is to also rotate between cooked.
That makes me feel ill. I used to eat that with eggs and it tasted so bad. And literally, if you just don't believe me, like with what I'm saying, you don't have to believe me, it's up to you. But with the things that I'm saying, just use logic. You don't even need studies. Any study can be funded. You don't need anything. You just need to use your logical brain. If an animal was eating a food that doesn't taste good, it wouldn't eat it, correct? Our mouths and our noses have been developed over millions of years to tell us what we can and cannot eat. If it tastes bad, don't eat it. If it smells bad, don't eat it, correct? When you eat any vegetable, unless it is cooked the absolute living hell out of, it tastes bad. Raw vegetables taste bad. Capiche? Oh, I muted it.
Of all their nutrients. This is nothing new. Every culture seems to have its own version of daily greens. Collards called sukuma
And that's why everyone's dying.
wiki in Eastern African countries, sag in India.
Like that, it just doesn't look good, does it? It's just not appetizing in the slightest. Imagine slapping a steak in front of that. You'd eat the steak. You don't even need to use any sort of scientific knowledge. You just use common sense. You just know that that's not appetizing.
Personal favorites. Edible wild greens.
Why do you think all babies and all kids hate vegetables? It's because they know they're not supposed to eat them.
Lettuce in Mexico. The list goes on. I personally just add them to whatever I'm eating. Salad, soup, a stir fry, or a smoothie.
Yeah, but why? You don't need them. Nothing in there is essential. Nothing in there you can absorb in the correct quantities. Nothing in there is good for you. So just don't eat it.
Just simply having it sauteed with garlic and olive oil side of a meal. Just remember, don't forget your daily greens. Sprout.
Please forget your daily greens.
A handful of broccoli sprouts can contain 50 times more anti-inflammatory compounds than
I actually don't even know what broccoli sprouts are. What the hell?
fully grown broccoli. Now, if you have
Fully grown broccoli is man-made. It's not real. It was a wild form of cabbage and it's been crossbred. Like every single plant and every single fruit in the world, it has been crossbred and it is not exactly real. So this doesn't exist and it's full of, I actually can't remember what broccoli is full of, but it's the same sort of things like toxic compounds like, is it goitrogens? It might be goitrogens, something like that. Essentially just inflammatory. So anti-inflammatory is a lie right here.
haven't tried sprouts in general, they're basically plants at their very first stage of life, and they are super
why would you want that?
super concentrated in nutrients. And honestly, you can sprout almost
You can't absorb it.
anything. Radish, lentils, alfalfa, mung beans, they all bring something different. But the A-lister out of all the sprouts are broccoli sprouts. When you chew them, they release sulforaphane that flips on a switch in your cells called NRF2. And this is like hitting go on your body's detoxification system to clear out.
That doesn't make sense. Detoxification is just getting rid of everything that doesn't affect you. And adding plants with all the toxic compounds will affect you. So literally just removing it. Like there's not a food, like I've seen these things online, like detoxify your body with this smoothie or something. You can't just detoxify it. It's not like some big fluid system pushing everything out. You just it's like seed oils stay in your system for years, like 7 years or something. So you just got to get rid of everything that's inflaming you, that's affecting you badly, that's negatively affecting your health. Just remove all of that, detoxify that from your house, from your life, from your mouth. Give it a few years and then you'll be detoxified. You don't need any of this stuff.
Oxidative stress and reduce inflammation. There was actually a really cool trial where 40 healthy overweight adults ate just 30 grams of raw broccoli sprouts that were fresh every single day, and after 10 weeks, their inflammatory markers like IL-6 and CRP dropped by up to 59%. That's super, super impressive.
Again, any study that someone gives you, you can prove the opposite. I could go online right now and find a study that proves the opposite of what he just said. So I don't really believe in studies, and you can say, oh, he doesn't talk about studies, but I use my logical brain and say that looks disgusting. If I eat it, it tastes bad, so I won't eat it. Simple as. So any study that he comes up with, sure, it could be funded. Any study I come up with could be funded. And most of these aren't controlled trials anyway. Most of them, a lot of studies are epidemiology as well, basically just inferring things like, for example, ice cream causes skin cancer and stuff or sunburn because you get ice cream when you're at the beach and you're more likely to get sunburn. It's just like correlated, it's not correct.
And since chatting to Doug Evans, I've been trying to eat so much more. And I try and grow them as well using this so they keep their diet, not just a garnish. Extra virgin olive oil. Quality extra virgin olive oil, just like this, is not just for cooking. It's a liquid anti-inflammatory. It's such a big part
Full of linoleic acid though.
of the Mediterranean way of eating, which is one of the best studied diets for lowering inflammation. And the secret here isn't just the healthy monounsaturated fatty acids, it's also
That's not healthy though. Unsaturated fats are not good for you. Unsaturated fats have a ton of linoleic acid in, and the more linoleic acid in your skin, the more likely the oxidization of your LDL cholesterol is going to happen. And when that happens, that is when you get clogged arteries, heart disease, stroke, heart attack, and you die. When you eat saturated fat, you've literally just been lied to. Saturated fat is what you're supposed to be eating. It's in everything. It's in meat that we've been eating for hundreds of thousands of years as Homo sapiens, or millions of years as sapiens in general. We have been eating we've been drinking our brother's breast milk, our mother's breast milk, which has a ton of saturated fat in. An egg, which is the entirety of an animal, has a ton of saturated fat in it. And then these leafy greens that are made for herbivores, they are full of unsaturated fats. We're not supposed to eat them. We've never been eating them. Our linoleic acid content was about 2 to 3% in the caveman times, and now it is about 20% plus. That's not good, and that's why people are getting heart diseases. Now, olive oil isn't as bad if it's raw. As soon as you cook it, it turns into a seed oil. I actually can't remember if the linoleic acid increases or it just sort of activates. I can't exactly remember. I need to do more research on that. But it acts like a seed oil. When you cook any fruit oil, even if it's like coconut oil or anything like that, or avocado oil, as soon as you heat it up, it acts the same as a seed oil. And you obviously don't want that seed, because seed oils are very, very toxic.
So the polyphenols from the olive, like
you don't need polyphenols.
Oleocanthal and oleopene, they act on the same inflammatory pathways as things like ibuprofen by inhibiting something called the COX enzyme, and that lowers inflammatory messages like prostaglandins. Now, of course, it's not the same as taking a painkiller. It's much gentler in its effect, and it works kind of
still the effect though.
Kind of like in the background, but it all adds up over time, and you're getting it in the context of
it just doesn't look good though. Sure, it's like colourful and stuff. Is that meat or fish? That's what my eye is first drawn to. It just looks horrible. Like, the cooking looks good, obviously, and the plate looks like nice and colourful or whatever, but it just doesn't look appetizing. Like, I'd never, like as a kid, now I just would never want to look at that and think, ooh, I want to eat that, right? It just doesn't, it's just not in it's not in anyone's DNA. They don't look at that and go, oh, that's scrumptious. And if you are, you're lying to yourself. Put a massive juicy steak there, and you want to eat it.
whole food, again, packaged.
Like, it just looks grim. Is that egg? That's not eggs, is it? Or is it chicken? I can't, no, that's olive oil right there. I can't even tell what this is, but that looks like the nicest thing. That looks grim. Those look disgusting. That looks grim. That looks awful. And then you're drenching it in olive oil. I hate the taste of olive oil. Again, it just comes back to, if you hate the taste of it and it's a natural thing, then just don't eat it. Right? Obviously, you've got like cereals and stuff these days which taste amazing, sure. Fruits which taste amazing, but they're full, well, fruits have been crossbred and everything, and now, like, if you look at like an old orange or an old apple or an old banana, they didn't look anything like they do these days. They've been bred to be way sweeter, way sweeter. But if you look at like a nice juicy steak from like a cow, from an A2 cow, because A1 cows, which are like the black and white cows, they never existed. Brown cows always did. Brown cows, if you look at like a piece of their meat, don't get me cancelled. It's got like a genuine, like, you know, grass-fed, proper raised, pasture raised, that's more like chickens, but you know, like a properly raised cow. The fat on their beef is so nice. It's like almost yellow, but not as in like a horrible sense. It's just like really rich and just, oh, it looks so good. So I just prefer to eat that.
With all their anti-inflammatory properties as well. The benefits of this stack up fast. Just a drizzle, around 7 grams a day, was linked to around 28%.
Linked. See, they can't prove everything. It's not like exactly this causes that. It's not cause and effect. It's all correlative.
Lower risk of dying from dementia-related causes. That is staggering. But to get the most benefit, you really need quality extra virgin olive oil. First, you want to look for cold pressed, ideally in a dark glass bottle. To protect.
Well, yes, you do want this more than, because most olive oil is just a combination of olive oil and other seed oils, so it's better to get the normal, like, full-on extra virgin olive oil, whatever, cold pressed, but it's still got a ton of linoleic acid in. It's got no nutrients that you actually need, nothing that you can absorb the same way you can absorb it in animal products, so you might as well just get butter, tallow, ghee. Well, butter is way cheaper than this, and it tastes way better anyway.
Third, a taste test. When you try...
Imagine being able to build an app with your name on it, just by thinking about it. Meat Base 44.
Extra points, bonus for the manufacturing or 80 centigrade. People worry about nuts because they're high
in
fat and therefore high in calories.
No, that's not the same reason, bro.
cooking, it's great for everyday use. I use extra virgin olive oil in so many dense powerhouse ingredients.
Right, sorry, I completely skipped around
Finish
there.
a meal, you can use it any way you like. Tastes delicious. Nuts. People worry about nuts because they're high in fat and therefore high in calories. But these
No, calories don't apply to humans. We are an open thermodynamic system. We process chemicals, not the heat that is needed to, or not the energy that is needed to heat up water by 1 degree. Although it does, calories, if you do track your calories, it does work. It does manipulate your body weight, but it's not exactly how we process foods. It's like an indirect version of how we can change our weight. But calories don't apply to us. So that is what we're not bothered about. We are bothered about the chemicals within inside them, the phytic acid, the cyanide. Within those like tub of almonds right there, inside the shell, like every time you crunch the shell, like the brown coating, when you crunch that and like grind your teeth on it, it releases cyanide, and a pound of almonds will kill you. It's a lethal dose. The nut, or like a seed, is the baby of a plant. It's the most offended part. It's like if you kill like a polar bear's or like a bear's cub, it's gonna kill you, right? It's gonna do everything it can to protect its baby and then kill you. So if you're eating the babies, of course they're gonna be the most offended part. They've got the most anti-nutrients, they've got the most chemicals, phytic acid and everything. They bind to all the parts of your cells. It's just don't, man, just don't.
These are not empty calories. These are nutrient-dense powerhouse ingredients that you should not be scared of. Nuts contain healthy, unsaturated fatty acids like
Again, we need saturated fat, not unsaturated fat.
alpha-linoleic acid. And they also come packaged with
Don't need. Did that say linoleic acid?
and therefore high in calories. But these are not empty calories. These are nutrient-dense powerhouse ingredients that you should not be scared of. Nuts contain healthy, unsaturated fatty acids like alpha-linoleic acid. And they also come packaged with antioxidants and anti-inflammatory compounds. They're full of
Like what? Anti-inflammatory compounds?
minerals like selenium, magnesium, zinc. These are things that
Yes, but you won't be able to absorb them the same way you can in meat.
are lacking in many people's diets. They also have fiber that's going to be great for your gut,
Don't need fiber,
as well as phytosterols, but they also contain
need
these
it.
polyphenols that are anti-inflammatory.
and you don't need. See, okay, this is what we was talking about, the polyphenols or the anti-inflammatory. You don't need polyphenols. You don't need polyphenols. As I said, you literally don't need anything apart from your main vitamins and minerals. And once you've got them, which you get in perfect quantities in meat, then anything else will disrupt your gut, disrupt your microbiome and everything like that. So just get rid of everything apart from those essential things like meat. Oh, keep muting it.
They are way more than just healthy fats, and judging them by their calories is the wrong way to look at these ingredients. And you don't actually need a lot. Just
Nobody's judging them by the calories.
a handful a day, about 28 grams, is linked to lower inflammation, better cholesterol, and a 19% lower risk of heart disease, all from these impressive little jewels.
It's linked. That is sold in a shop on the count, well, on like a, like you can just buy it in a shop for kids to buy. I've bought them and they can kill you. A pound of them will kill you. And they are sold to us just to hold, to eat, and just nibble on and eat throughout the day. They're really good for you guys.
Some of these nuts really stand out for their polyphenols, like walnuts.
You don't need
pecans,
polyphenols.
almonds, and
It's
a
pointless.
handful a day is such an easy habit, and it pays off big time for lowering inflammation. Seeds, just like nuts.
Okay, so, oh my God, it's just bird feed. I say this time and time again. Look at that and tell me that is not bird food. Is it or is it not bird food? I remember working in Sainsbury's, like I had a job there, I was stacking the shelves and stuff, and I looked at the birds' feed and I was like, like stacking it onto their shelf, and I thought, let me just go over to the home baking aisle, where they've got the nuts and seeds. Walked over, and it was the exact same as that. Exact same. We are not supposed to be eating these seeds. There's nothing in them that we need. They are not nutrient dense in any way. We can't absorb it, and they've only got toxic chemicals that will affect us negatively and inflame us. We are not supposed to be eating them. Do you think birds can eat meat? No. We can. Do you think we can eat bird feed? No. Yeah, it's sold to us anyway. It's like omega-3s that you can't absorb. Not the correct omega-3s.
Seeds are not just a sprinkle on top. They're little capsules of anti-inflammatory compounds. They're rich in plant protein. Some of them, like
Yeah, plant protein is an incomplete protein. You can't absorb it the same way you can absorb normal protein from
hemp
animals.
seeds, can contain as much as 10 grams per handful. Plus, they have fiber, omega-3,
They have 10 grams of protein that you can't use, fiber that you don't need, omega-3s, which are the incorrect version.
phytosterols, polyphenols,
Don't need them, don't
the
need
list
them,
goes
don't
on and
need
on and
them.
on and on. And they all work together to lower inflammatory markers like CRP and TNF-alpha. Each seed has its own superpower, and here are 3 of my favorites. Behind every spoonful of flax is a powerful compound called
Not flaxseed.
Or
I hate flaxseed. It's just it's like a little soy boy meal. You know what I mean? Like you're just like, oh, put it in me porridge, yay!
BG. Don't ask me to pronounce.
Just whack an egg on it.
Full name. Seco-isolaric resinol diglycoside. This is the longest word I've ever.
Exactly, so you don't need it.
Oh wow, she smashed it. But I can tell you it's surprisingly well researched for its anti-inflammatory benefits. And when you look at big reviews, it shows that you only need to eat around 10 to 30 grams per day. And I definitely get that in my personal diet.
Fantastic. I'll make sure to do that.
I use ground flax every day and things like oat.
Look at it. Look at that. Look at it. We just don't need to eat that.
Smoothies, or in a version of my doctor's daily bread. I always recommend that you grind flax into the milled version, and if you do have a pre-milled one, keep it in the fridge to preserve a lot.
That's the one that I see in the shops a lot.
All those different nutrients.
God, look at that fridge. There's just nothing in there that's actually just got anything in. It's just void of nutrients. Just a ton of chemicals.
The star compound in
This is like dangerous. Like vegans die. It's not funny. The reasons why, like if you get like a vegan or vegetarian or something, the only reason they're alive is because they're either eating eggs or they're on a ton of medication. That is the only reason.
sesame seeds are sesamin, and this helps protect blood vessel benefits.
I can't even be bothered because they're all just the same thing. They're the seeds that we're not supposed to eat, and they've got no nutrients, and they inflame you.
As well, spoons feeds your inflammation in your body. But that's not
Oh, what are these beans? Oh, legumes. Nice. Really bad for
in your
you.
large intestine. What those microbes do is that they create something called short-chain fatty acids. These are essential for keeping your gut barrier strong, and ultimately, when you have a strong gut barrier, it lowers inflammation in your body. But that's not all. Beans also keep blood sugars nice and steady, so they don't give you those big spikes that can drive up inflammation over time. And most people don't realize that just like berries, beans and lentils are packed with polyphenols that are anti-inflammatory.
So talking about the polyphenols, they don't matter.
And if you look at this diagram from this paper, you'll know why I'm such a fan of.
Right, what's the problem with beans that are legumes? Are they nightshade? They're not nightshades. Problems with lentils. There's like a specific word. I actually, bro, my mind is messed today. What's it called? What's the... Yep. What's God, what's the name? Name of, I can't spell, name of problems with lentils. No, what the hell is it called? Lectins, that's the one. Sorry, it took me a minute there. Lectins will inflame you, same way everything else is the same with phytic acid, the same with goitrogens, same basically everything that you get in plants. Legumes have a ton of lectins and they're terrible for you.
Getting legumes in every day. To achieve these benefits, studies show you only need around 400 grams of cooked legumes every single week, or about 3 to 4 heaped tablespoons a day. If you're not already eating these,
see, we've just been recommended about 50 different foods that we're supposed to eat and we have to eat to get all of our daily nutrients and everything, even though we get all of our daily nutrients in meat. What animal on the planet eats more than 1 to 2 to maybe 3 types of food? Like panda, they eat bamboo and nothing else. If they eat something else, they will die. Lions, they eat meat, eat anything else, they will probably die. It's the same with us. We're not the exception. We're not just like this magical human being that can just eat loads and loads of ingredients. If we eat anything other than what we're supposed to eat, meat, then we die. And that's what's happening. It's like serious. It's like, I'm not like just messing about. It's serious.
I actually advise you to start small with just a couple of spoons.
I would advise you to not look at them again because they're disgusting. They taste bad and they're bad for you.
Here and there, and allow your gut to adjust to the increase in fiber. The easiest way to include some of these powerhouse ingredients is to sneak them into your go-to meals. So for example, if you make...
See, why do you have to sneak them in? You don't have to sneak them in. Real food, beef, eggs, you don't need to sneak them into meals. You don't need to sneak them into your kids' meals. Just eat them because they taste good. Give a steak to a child, they'll love it. Unless they've been eating like, you know, sugary cereal like Lucky Charms their whole life. If they actually have like a properly filtered, well, not unfiltered, not a filtered out palate, I guess, I don't know what the word for it is. If they have just like a base palate, they will enjoy the food you give them. Real food, not this. If you give that to, you just know for a fact that if you give that to any kid on the planet, they will hate it. And they won't eat it. So why the hell do we think this is healthy? If our newborns don't eat it.
In a salad, toss in a handful of chickpeas straight from the tin. If you're making pasta, swap half the meat you're using.
Oh, hang on, what was that? High protein.
The easiest way to include some of these powerhouse ingredients is to sneak them into your go-to meals. So, for example, if you're making a salad, toss in a handful of chickpeas straight from the tin. If you're making...
Okay, right. Let's see. So you're getting all of the protein from nuts, lentils. Okay, so no animal products. Pasta, which is just grains. Fantastic.
Pasta, swap
Terrible
half the
meal.
meat you're using for lentils in the sauce. The research is super clear. Beans feed your gut and help keep inflammation.
Can anybody guess what this stuff is and what I'm going to use it for? This is mulin that I picked
In check. Whole grains. Grains get written off as just carbs, but there's a big
They are.
difference between refined grains that we consume way too much of and whole grains that are actually a rich source of anti-inflammatory compounds. I'm not talking about just opting for
That's all he said this whole video. It's just anti-inflammatory.
brown bread over white because it's basically just white flour in disguise. I mean real whole grains like buckwheat, black rice, and barley, and even some you might not have tried yet. What's different
It's just peasant food. It's literally just peasant food. Any sort of grain is peasant food. If you go back in history, all the kings, they would be eating steak and all like, just animal foods, and then maybe bread, but they would be eating mostly steak and mostly meat. And then the peasants, they'd be eating the bread, little bits of rye and little bits of just wheat and barley and stuff. And that is when the first recorded cases of like heart attacks and heart diseases, strokes, that's when they first happened in ancient Egypt. When they started making grains and started giving bread and potatoes to everyone, that's when people started dying of these things.
about these is that they keep the bran and the germ, which is like the grain's protective shell and powerful core. That's where you're going to find fiber, phenolic acids, flavonoids, and ultimately
Don't need any of that.
these are the things that reduce inflammation. One of the grains that I find most interesting is something called sorghum. Now, you don't see it much in kitchens, but the darker variety,
I wonder why.
the red and the brown types, are absolute gems. They're rich in a unique compound called luteinolidin and something called apigenin,
That you don't need.
and
You
it sets
just
them
don't need
apart
it.
from other grains. In fact, there was this really cool study where people ate pasta made with red sorghum, white sorghum, or just regular wheat on different days. And just 2 hours later, they found that the red sorghum pasta increased polyphenol levels in the blood and improved
Oh, yes! Polyphenols, thank God.
antioxidant defenses. So you want to go for as much color in your whole grain as possible. Now, if sorghum feels a bit out of reach, there are 2 other grains I think are worth looking for. One is buckwheat because it's high in rutin. You can find
Oh,
it
nice.
roasted
I needed a bit of rutin.
as the whole grain and in things like buckwheat pastas. And the other one is black rice, which gets its dark color from anthocyanins, the same polyphenol that we find in berries. Try
Oh, thank God. I didn't have any berries, so thank God I can get my polyphenols
swapping
from
your
there.
refined grains, things like white rice, for a whole grain of your choice. You only need about 200 grams of a cooked whole
that
grain
it?
per day to get the benefits. It's a really easy way to just boost your level of anti-inflammatory foods without really changing much. Spices, all spices
Oh, yeah, spices. Something that literally hurts you when you eat it. Fantastic. What a good idea.
are phenomenal for inflammation. We only eat a little bit, but because they're concentrated sources of these anti-inflammatory plant chemicals, they support your gut microbes and they lower inflammation. And 3 really stand out. Ginger. Its flavor comes from compounds called gingerols and shaving.
Now, there are actually things that can heal your body in certain ways, like ginger. I've heard this, I can't remember if it's, can't remember exactly, but it's like if you put it on like your head, it improves headache or something. I don't know. They can, things like this and ginger and plants and stuff can heal your body in certain ways, but not as well as just eating meat and having nothing else. And if you ingest these foods, that's when it becomes the issue. I mean, it's like an onion, right? You cut it open and it makes you cry. Do you think you're supposed to eat that? That's like it just doesn't make sense. None of it makes sense.
And those are the same compounds that are shown in trials to lower inflammation markers like CRP, TNF-alpha. You don't actually need loads, about a thumb of
You don't need any.
fresh ginger or a teaspoon of concentrated ginger
So if you just eat that, it just tastes ridiculously horrible. So like, come on now. Like if you just ate it, it just wouldn't taste nice.
powder a day. Don't spend money on unnecessary, use the fresh stuff instead. Turmeric. This golden color is because of curcumin and all the other curcuminoids. It's been shown in clinical trials to ease pain and stiffness almost as well as ibuprofen. I cook with it all the time. The color alone is the reason why you'd want to use this. As well as lowering inflammation. It has been shown
Why?
in some
Colour. So you know when they say you need to get all of your colours, like all the colours on your plate, you need all the different reds and greens. Like what's the nutritional benefit of yellow?
some studies to lower the risk of cancer as well. All the more reason to get this.
Now, cancer is a mitochondrial problem, and when you reduce carbs to 0, when you have no carbs in your diet, then your mitochondria can work effectively. They work 4 times more effectively without glucose, without exogenous glucose. And then they can actually go through autophagy when they recycle their cells, and cancer cells latch onto damaged mitochondria. So when you're going through autophagy, when you have no carbs in your diet, your cells can repair and recycle themselves so they don't become damaged. Cancer is a sugar problem. Now, You can hate on me all you want. I've had people affected by it. It's a serious issue, but it is unfortunately a problem with the diet. It is not genetic. Genetic plays a role in where it is and how prominent it is, but every single cancer case has mitochondrial function damage, mitochondrial damage, every single one. But not all of them have genetic damage, like not genetics playing a role. It is completely a carb-related problem, which is crazy to say, and you don't have to believe me, that's fine, but
regularly
it
into
is.
your diet. And a fun one to try is Nigella, also referred to as black cumin. Its star compound is something called thymoquinone, and it's got some of the strongest evidence
good.
for lowering inflammation in people within just a few weeks. It has a really lovely flavor. So if you haven't used Nigella, honestly, you can
Oh, and your beautiful dish
powder
that
it
tastes
in pestle
horrible.
water. You don't actually need that much either. Studies show benefits for as little as 1 to 3 grams per day across multiple different.
See, look how many things he's recommending. Imagine if, like, I don't know, a baboon needed all of these different foods. It just wouldn't be able to get them and it would die, right? They only need like one food, maybe two. Same with us. We just need meat. We can have things like eggs, we can have things like dairy, but we don't need them. We just need meat. Meat and that's it. We don't need anything else. As soon as you start adding things, that's when problems
Which is about
occur.
teaspoon. And that's why on the Doctor's Kitchen app, we always use spices. It's almost like every rich
Ooh, your
sources
fantastic
polyphenols
app.
with that benefit.
All the people who have like books and stuff about this, they always seem to talk about polyphenols.
Green tea or matcha is packed with something called
Oh God, not matcha.
EG.
Soy boy incoming.
Epigallocatkin-gallate, and that's been shown in multiple studies to lower inflammation and improve the
It's been shown.
functioning of your blood vessels, which is really good for your
It's not cause and effect.
heart health. Now, you're seeing matcha being used in so many different ways, popped in smoothies, in cakes, usually added with tons of sugar. You want to
Yep.
avoid those products. I think the best way to enjoy the subtle bitterness of matcha is as it's intended.
See, it's bitter. Why would you eat something voluntarily that is bitter?
In a tea. Use water that's off the boil around 80 degrees centigrade so you don't damage
It looks like pond water.
those delicate polyphenols, and simply sip it in the same way you would enjoy coffee. These are actually cacao nibs that you can use in a tea, but if you want to use cacao powder in its raw form, add some hot water to that and use a little whisk to make a hot chocolate that's actually good for you.
You see, just every single thing that is not meat will have some sort of downside. Meat has 0 downsides. There is every single other food on the planet has a downside because we're not supposed to eat it. And most of them don't taste good anyway. So because cacao tastes good, fair enough. It is still going to have negative effects on you, but fair enough. The better it tastes, the less likely it is to harm you.
And the daddy of them all, coffee. If it's made from good quality beans, it's abundant in something called
Again, there's just nothing in it. Like, you don't need chlorogenic acid. You just don't need it. It's not essential. So why would you have it?
chlorogenic acid. With over 20,000 studies that show its benefit, it is known for its strong antioxidant properties. Now, if you can tolerate caffeine, great. I recommend you consume this before 11 a.m. When you look at the studies, it seems you only need 2 to 3.
You see, you're having like all these antioxidants and everything, but then you're getting all the linoleic acid as well from like the olive oil and all those type of things. So you're just increasing your oxidization in your cells and everything anyway. Doesn't make
cups
sense.
a day for those maximum benefits. And if you're sensitive to caffeine, you can opt for a mountain water.
Exactly. Like, what animal is sensitive to the food that they eat? Just not. Imagine if a lion was allergic to meat, or if a horse was allergic to grass. Like, it just doesn't happen, right? So why would we be allergic to nuts? Why would we be allergic to these? I can't even remember what they're talking about. Whatever this is. Is it coffee? Yeah. Imagine if you're allergic to coffee. Like, use your common sense.
It's a process decaffeination method where it preserves a lot of those polyphenols that give coffee its benefits.
Hey.
There's also pomegranate juice, hibiscus tea, blueberry and blackcurrant juice, black tea. They're all full
Fantastic.
of polyphenols. But the one thing
good.
I would say is make sure to watch out for added sugar or sweeteners that can
And make sure to watch out for the polyphenols because you don't need them.
cancel out those benefits. So make your own at home without the sugar if you can. I like to rotate them throughout the week and drink my way to those anti-inflammatory benefits. Now, this long list of foods sounds like way too much to keep track of. Here is the simple hack I use every single day. It's called BBGs. Beans, berries, greens, seeds, and nuts. I simply ask myself at the end of each day, have I had my BBGs? You don't have to eat all 4 at every meal. Just weave them into your day. And over a week, the consistent hit of these nutrient powerhouses keeps my inflammation in check. But lowering
Well, or you could just eat a pound of grass-fed beef and you'll get every single nutrient you could possibly need in the world in the perfect quantities, and you would have all of the calories that you needed for the day because you'd be fully satiated. Your hunger signaling wouldn't be up and down. Your glucose wouldn't have spiked. You wouldn't have a ton of insulin in your system right now. You will have everything you need. You will have a ton of bioavailable protein. You will have literally everything. You don't need anything in this video. I swear to God, it is dangerous advice. It is dangerous advice. Usually your logical brain, I wish my brain had worked for 2 seconds to speak, don't listen to these people who are talking about all these polyphenols and everything, because you don't need them. You don't need them. I don't want to hate on this guy in this video, but it is bad information. It is poor information. And this is just getting recommended. Like, he's just been misinformed, essentially, right? Like, no hate to him, because he's trying to spread a good message, and he's got a high quality video and everything, and he's in good shape as well. But it's just he's been misinformed. So use your logical brain and don't listen to this stuff. And last thing before you go, I just have in the first link in the description my community where I do talk about all this stuff. Like, we have guys in here talking about everything like the gym and the health, and I've got a live coaching call happening in 4 days depending on when you're watching this, so you can join that and ask me any questions. And in the Elite Protocol, I have done like a massive hour-long guide on the diet that I eat. It's fantastic, so that's really helpful, really valuable. So if you're interested, click the link below. It's free to join right now. I'll see you over there. Good night.